Hi, everyone. Lisa Haven here. And I've got a report that I just want to throw out there to you guys that really beckons our attention. And again, the mainstream media conglomerates are all ignoring it, not really bringing much attention to it. And that is the fact that we are losing some of our aquifers here in the United States of America, and they are quickly disappearing. And if that continues, this could spell disaster for our water supply here in the United States of America. So it's definitely something that I think needs our attention. Now, before I get into the report, get to Restricted Republic. I put out a super huge report on December 23rd. You're not going to want to miss this report. Get over there and sign up for $1. Use the coupon code Christmas21. That's Christmas21. And you can cancel whenever you want. But if you use that code, you can try it out for 45 days for $1. But you're going to want to get on there and see that exclusive report. Lots of things are happening. I'm going to publish a new report today on Restricted Republic as well. But with that, let's get in to this aquifer crisis, as well as just our overall drought crisis that we have been off and on in California. These are all going to have repercussions on some of our water supply. But this is on the Atlantic, and it's called The Next Disaster Coming to the Great Plains. Acute scarcity drives the search for water underground, but the West major aquifers are in big trouble too. The article goes on to state, a century after the Dust Bowl, another environmental catastrophe is coming to the high plains of western Kansas. The signs are subtle but unequivocal. Dry riverbeds, field of sand, the sound of irrigation motors straining to pump from dwindling aquifers. Quote, we face a fundamental choice, says Connie Owens, the director of Kansas Water Office, said to a group of state legislators, lobbyists, and groundwater managers and experts who assembled her last summer to debate the future of the region's groundwater, now in steep decline due to overuses by industrial agriculture. She goes on, what hangs in the balance is even more than the loss of livelihoods, communities, or an entire region's economy. It is the character of who we want to be as people. It goes on, aquifers are essential resources for human survival. Groundwater provides the only source of drinking water for 1/3 of the world's people and supports nearly half of the planet's irrigated agriculture. Yet far more groundwater is being pumped out than can be naturally replenished. Most dry area aquifers are vanishing. These include two primary groundwater systems in the western U.S., California's Central Valley Aquifer and the Ogallala Aquifer, which underlines Americans' heartlands for South Dakota to Texas. If we lose these aquifers, we lose nearly 20% of the world's grain crop, more than 40% of our nation's beef production, and about 40% of vegetables, nuts, and fruits consumed here in the United States of America. These are pretty staggering numbers. When we're talking about, obviously, some of our aquifers drying up and disappearing or slowly disappearing, this is obviously going to have effects on our food supply. As quoted in the article, 20% of the world's grain crop is going to be affected, 40% of our beef production, and 40% of our vegetables, fruits, and nuts. These are the main things that we need and our lifeline here in the United States of America, which is why I do believe that it needs the utmost attention. And I don't, a lot of people say big agriculture is it. Well, they're not the problem. We need that water. Our farmers need that water in order to have fruits, vegetables, beef and all these things provided to us here in the United States of America. So we've got to find, some solutions to this. And I know that things that they've done in Israel as they're converting the salt water to fresh water there. And I know that we have the potential to do that here in the United States of America, but for whatever reason, it's not even on the list as of yet. Meanwhile, we've got droughts happening over in California. Here we have, and this is on MSN.com, 2021, the year California fell back into a drought. So we have a drought taking place in California, and this is having repercussions. And here's San Jose Insider, or Inside.com. Rain is good news, but it doesn't change California's dire drought outlook. And then we also have this, and this is mydrywell.com. It's reporting dry wells all across the state of California. And so this is something I like to monitor to see, well, how many wells are drying up, and should we be concerned about the wells drying up? And here this is. It says, how's your water supply drying up? You can actually report it. I think there's a lot of people not reporting their wells, so I think this number could be farly underestimated. But since they've been reporting it since 2013, 3,756 total wells have dried up there in California. And here's probably the most shocking one is here in the middle. It says year to date, 971 total, 1,042% increase from last year. Now, that increase could be due to people discovering the site and now reporting. However, we don't know with 100% certainty. But what we do know is wells are drying up, and it's something we should pay attention to. And not just there in California. We also obviously have issues with the Colorado River. I've reported on this on Restricted Republic before, but here it is, the New York Times. 40 million people rely on the Colorado River, and it is drying up fast. Now, right now, there are tensions rising over the Colorado River, and basically they're saying that the states that are using the Colorado River and they all need to start conserving water. So they're actually putting out their feelers now, saying that they need to do that. Here's one of those articles on that. This is Colorado River Basin must embrace conservatism now to avert disaster, and this is an opinion article on DenverPost.com. We also have states being blamed for some of the water issues, or more blamed than others. This is St. Georgia News, Utah.com. New Colorado River report claims that Utah and other states use more water than they have rights to. So we have these arguments now between states and how much water they are using from the Colorado River. And then we, of course, have the tribes jumping in on the action as well. We have LA Times, as Western states pledge to take less water from Colorado River, tribes are now seeking a bigger role in that entire thing. So all of this to say, I think this is, worth our attention and worth our time to find a solution to in some way, shape, or form that doesn't affect, our food production, that doesn't affect, I guess our livelihood at a level. And I think there are solutions out there. The problem is many in our political parties aren't seeking these solutions due to environmentalists who stand in the way because they're blocking things over some fish that might go extinct or whatnot. So there's all these stupid regulations, kind of like the stupid regulation in California where they can't control burn to prevent everything from burning down, kind of like that, which is why California has a lot of fires. But I digress. That's a whole nother topic. However, what we do know is the solutions are being blocked by some environmentalists as well. So we need to come to some kind of ground on all of that. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I love all of you guys. With that, please don't forget to check out my partner at hidewithlisa.com. If you guys don't have a VPN, you really need to get one. And I've said this before, but I use it on my cell phone. I use it on my computer. That way, nobody knows what I'm looking at on the internet. It's nobody's damn business what we're looking at on the internet. And so this is really a way to be able to freely look on the internet without any, anyone looking in, specifically government or whatever, on your private information. So check it out at hidewithlisa.com and take advantage of their special prices there. They even have a 30-day free trial. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.